So tell us a little bit about your health journey and a brief history of yourself.
So I had a debilitating mental illness. I had bipolar disorder and it turned into rapid cycling. And it got to the point where I had to move in with my mom at the age of 40. And I had already been a practicing child therapist, so it didn't work out for me to be so mentally ill. Moved in with my mom so that I could have shelter for my son. And then my brother did something nice, and my brother's not nice. He's kind of a jerk. And he recognized my mental illness, and he reached out to me and he told me about the carnivore diet. And before that, I had eaten the standard American diet, but it was a little bit extreme. Like, I could eat an entire pizza by myself. I would get a carton of ice cream and I would eat the entire carton of ice cream. When I made cookies, chocolate chip cookies, I would make 2 batches. I would have 1 batch just for the dough so that I could eat all of the dough. And then I would cook the cookies, and then I would eat all the cookies. Pies, cakes, you name it, everything. And I was trying to feed something inside of me, and it was never enough. Wine, beer, alcohol, constantly. Then my brother told me about the carnivore diet, and I learned about this story about a
You
woman.
also had a neurological condition too, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I learned about this story about a woman who had bipolar disorder, and she resolved all of the symptoms just by eating animal meat and animal fat. I don't think that's what you need to eat for the rest of your life at all. I think it's a tool for something to do just for a little bit. I started eating this way February 24th of 2019, and then I got hospitalized with MS. So a logical person would say, I tried this new diet and now I'm in the hospital. I can't walk without an assistive device. I had delayed and slurred speech, and I had more significant brain fog than I ever had. But I had a knowing. God was speaking to me through this whole process that I am on the right track, and I just kept doing what I knew to do. And I knew that going back to sugar and processed food wasn't going to be the answer. And so I kept going this way. I had my last manic or depressive episode in April of 2019.
Nice.
At my most, I was on 900 milligrams of lithium, 80 milligrams of Prozac, 80 milligrams of Adderall just to get out of bed every day, and Ambien to sleep every night. My last psych med was September of 2019. My last MS symptom was May 9th of 2019, removing all the sugar and all the processed foods.
Nice. Wow. So you had seen improvements just through nutrition. Why did you seek out chiropractic and the functional medicine side then? What brought you back around to that?
I think I didn't realize how sick I was. I was severely sick. And if you think about it, I was at 40 years old. So that's 40 years of eating sugar and processed food and high amounts of alcohol. And what happened was the Lord had to really speak to me, and He gave me this pain in the middle of my back. And it was a catch, and I just couldn't twist it out, I couldn't anything. And I walked to the office and I said, I think I have this pain because I'm supposed to be here. And I was. I didn't know, I hadn't done any blood work. And so I'm so grateful because they of course fixed my back, realigned everything. And I saw this advertisement for, I think it was $289 for the blood work. And I was just like, you know what? I've been on this whole journey and I haven't gotten my blood work done in a while. Because of course when I was in the hospital, there's some stuff to diagnose me. But then when I refused their medication for MS, they didn't really want to do anything else. They didn't really want to help me. So I went and I found out that there is way more going on than I realized in my blood work. And Dr. A was able to help me to navigate exactly what to do to correct everything that was going on. Because just because I didn't have symptoms didn't mean that there wasn't something going on under the surface.
So your diet was completely what macronutrient?
Animal meat and animal fat.
So she's eating nothing but protein.
Yeah. And I gotta tell you that the whole way that I was eating before, there's no way I could have white knuckled it. There's no way that I could have been like, oh, I'm going on a diet. Oh, I'm going to be great. I'm going to do this. It was the fat. I had to add the fat so that I was satiated. And I was satiated. I was eating chicken wings and bacon and fatty pork butt and ribs and ribeyes. And that's all I ate. And so I was satiated because of the fat. And there's no way that I could have done this if I hadn't had enough animal fat.
So share the one thing though on your blood work that you were not absorbing.
I was not absorbing protein and fat.
Her entire diet is protein and fat. And when we do her blood work, she's low in protein.
And cholesterol.
And her cholesterol is tanked.
I would have never known if I hadn't known Dr. A.
MS, through all of the damage that it had done to her fat and her myelin sheath and all those things, had done so many things to her body. Even though she was getting well, when you pulled that blood work and looked internally, she wasn't absorbing food, and her cholesterol was in the tank, meaning that you're very sick person. So Dr. A finds this, gets those things going in the right direction. Within how many weeks did that turn around? Your homocysteine levels, your inflammatory markers, everything within just a few weeks?
Yeah. It's been amazing.
Yep. And then what does life look like going forward here? Like once you start, that journey started in 2019, what do you see going forward?
Well, I lost 120 pounds.
A lot of people too think that. So people look at Emily and say, "Oh, she's skinny. Anybody can do that."
No, and I didn't think there was anything wrong with me because that's the way we look like in Southeast Missouri. I look like everybody else. I looked like everybody else. This is in 2000. I believe this picture is in 2018. But that's what I looked like in 2019 when I started eating this way. And then that's obviously, more like now. I just started 3 weeks ago doing CrossFit at 5 a.m. And to walk into a CrossFit gym with MS is unheard of. I was told by all of the neurologists that I was going to be in a wheelchair in 10 years and that I was going to be crippled and I was going to continue to get worse because I refused their medication. And I'm not. Another thing that I have done is I've started a free Saturday food support group where it's online. You just go to emilypenton.com. emilypenton.com. And it's a free Zoom meeting. And I think so much of what he said in the thing that it's a social problem. And so you need to have a social cure. We need to come together because everybody in our society, everybody in our community, they're addicted to sugar. It's everywhere. It's in our schools. It's in our communities. It's at every gathering that we have. And so we need to come together with the people that are willing to be on this mission to not have sugar and processed foods. So every Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time.
She's been working at this for so long, she was able to quit her normal job, and now she's a health coach around the world. She has people on all different continents that she's helping people overcome with information that she's learned.
Yeah.
Spell your last name.
P, like a pen that weighs a ton. Penton. Penton. Emily is EMILY. EmilyPenton.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yep.
Thanks for saving my life.
Yes.